Well, after a lot of mysterious tweets over the last few days regarding the history of Halo Infinite, we have now finally gotten the official announcement on the Halo Infinite September 22 update, is what they're calling it, 2022 update. This is going to outline pretty much everything through the end of Season 2, what Season 3 will entail, and how everything's coming together. If I do sound disappointed, it's because I am. I knew that Halo going into a live service game was a horrendous idea, and it turns out that it was a horrendous idea. Not because the game is inherently evil or bad. It's still one of my absolute favorite games of all time and one of my absolute favorite franchises ever. I'm very, very, very fond of Halo. More so that I knew what it would take for a studio to transition into a live service game. And I knew that 343 struggled to meet very static goals. I did a really long engineering review. You could check my Halo playlist. Also post a link to that in the description below. Talking a lot about the acquisition side of things and more of a professional sense of what is going on at 343. And it was very clear to me as I was putting that video together that 343 was not really positioning themselves in a good place to be a live service game. And this update pretty much confirms they're getting rid of that. If not only in name, they're only holding on to it, but the concept of it is definitely faded very rapidly by the wayside. And it has devolved very, very much so, even past the content roadmaps that we used to see with Halo 5 Guardians, which were monthly drops, by the way. So not a lot of good stuff coming out of here. It is stretched out. It is incomplete. There's a lot of hype around stuff that should have been done long ago. And there's definitely a lot of mixed emotions. I didn't go on to the Twitter feed or the Halo Discord or the Halo subreddit after seeing this with much hope of any of the fans going, yes, we got it. And yeah, I'm not even going to take you to those dark places, but what I'm going to tell you is probably way more sugar-coated than anything you could read there, given the thoughts. Now, this is the official Halo blog. This was written a couple hours ago, and it's a embedded YouTube video featuring Joseph Staten, who you know is now kind of Mr. Halo again. Brian Gerard, who is the community manager, and a new face, Sean Barron. Sean Barron is taking over as this like live service player experience manager, which I find interesting that they're even kind of still kind of giving this a title or a name. It's very clear to many of us that when you compare the output of new content between Halo and any other live service game, shooter or not, I think you will see that Halo pales in comparison in every possible metric. What it really boils down to is this roadmap that they have included. This is the first ever roadmap, by the way, for a game that is approaching 1 year old. This is the first ever roadmap we've actually gotten, which it's nice, but obviously there's still a lot of information that I would have liked to see on here. But it's a nice attempt. At least it does give us some indication as to what we can expect. So the shocking news I think many of you are probably looking at right now, immediately seeing, is that the official Season 3, known as Echoes Within, has now been pushed out to March of 2023. This means the existing season, which is supposed to end on November 8th, will now get this, what they're calling a winter update. Now, I want to point out that this winter update lasts for a whopping 4 months, the entire month of November, December, January, February. Okay. Oh, and March. Oh my God, it's even longer than I thought. Okay. Wow. Okay, let's do that math again. November, December, January, February. Okay, just a little bit of March. Okay, that's still a long time, guys. Basically, what this is going to include is a little mini season, if you want to call it that, which is going to get us ready for Season 3. And you're probably asking yourself, before we even get into it, why has Season 3 been delayed? And I think we all know that answer. And that's because they are not ready. That's because they are not keeping up with live service updates in a meaningful way as we thought they would. You'll probably see some blog post or some sort of discussion later on talking about the importance of quality with employee life and work-life balance, etc., etc. It's a lot of, unfortunately, tired excuses we've heard before. And that's not to say that, hey, I'm a working man. I totally understand. However, in a live service game, when you use that term in this space, you are basically promising that you are going to be delivering new stuff. This confirms to me Halo came out way too soon. It was not ready. It was basically, let's just throw it out there and let's see if people like it and enjoy it. And for the most part, people played the base game, enjoyed it, and moved on because there's really not a lot to report back on. These are definitely not major bullet points of things that were coming either. This roadmap really does just kind of serve as a couple small things, which I think most other live service games would just kind of roll into a feature set. Unfortunately, Halo is making these into momentous occasions, and unfortunately, they're not life-changing, and I think a lot of people are naturally going to be disappointed. So first, looking at the winter update. Now, this is the new magical mid-season, where it's not really a season, kind of expansion that they're going to announce. It's going to finally include Forge. Notice it still says Forge Beta. Why does it say beta if so many people are posting screenshots and game caps about it? Most likely is 343 wants to take their sweet time to make sure it's perfect, but it also implies to me that it has not gone through a full suite of QA/QC testing, and as a result, your mileage will vary. But it's nice to finally have something out there that is different, that is something new, that we can all say, hey, great, maybe somebody can make some game modes or concepts of things that, you know, will kind of inject some life into the game. We're also going to finally get the network campaign. They call it campaign network co-op. Kind of a interesting verb choice there, but you will be able to play the campaign cooperatively, not just couch. In other words, if you are playing with a friend on the other side of the world or in another state, you'll be able to play with them. And it will also include the ability for mission replay, which is nice. That's something that was definitely missing from the base game. That was something that many of us wanted to go back. I cannot tell you the number of times I have replayed one of my absolute favorite missions in Halo 3, when you are retaking or fighting through the town of Voy, when you're on the back of the Warthog or driving the Warthog. That is like one of my absolute favorite missions, driving down the highway and just, you know, wave after wave of enemies, and it's so much fun. So it'll be nice to go back and replay Halo Infinite's missions. If you're looking for achievement hunting or just a certain mission really, you know, spoke to you, you're going to be able to go back and do that now. It will include a 30-tier battle pass after listening to this video here, which was embedded in inside the blog post, this actual roundtable discussion with these three guys. It seems like it's going to focus a lot on reach stuff, which is fine. And you're also going to finally see two new maps, Detachment and Argyle. I'm sorry, yeah, Detachment. I said Detainment. Detachment and Argyle. New maps are definitely the lifeblood of these games. They absolutely need new maps, and I'm glad we're getting them. They're also including a Match XP beta, which is their first attempt at dropping the insanely frustrating mission-based system in which you unlock your battle pass, like kill 3 people with a headshot, or, you know, capture a flag 6 times or whatever, which everybody hates, nobody wants. It forces you to play game modes that you may not want to play. And it sounds like they're finally ready to start experimenting with that. More news to follow. We'll definitely be talking about that on this channel when we get closer to that date. They're going to have another event in January that they're calling Joint Fire. I don't know much about that at the time. We've seen a lot of events come and go where it'll be a special game mode, and the event is really just a game mode with a curated battle pass kind of forcing you to play into that game mode. Typically will include a small battle pass, maybe a new armor core or some sort of new goal that you're working towards unlocking, which, okay, I'll take more unlocks. They're going to also add a new game mode called Covert One Flag, which, hey, new game modes are always appreciated. And then loosely, they talk about quality of life improvements. Hopefully, they address some of the insane network responses and bad server issues. However, I don't think that's something on their end. Or maybe it is. I don't know. I don't know if it's a software issue or a Microsoft server issue or a 343 database issue and they need to upgrade their hardware. But matchmaking right now is very difficult to actually work your way up the ranks. Sorry, that's my phone. Really difficult to work your way up the ranks right now because the server is so unexpected. It could be really good or really laggy or anywhere in between, and you just don't know what you're going to get into. And lastly, they're going to have a December event, Winter Contingency 2. So that is not a lot of content to chew on for 4 months as we wait for the probably more exciting news, I guess, of the two is that we are getting a new season called Echoes Within, which will include new maps for Arena and Big Team Battle. Finally, a new weapon, the M392 Bandit. If you follow anybody on social media, you have seen this gun has been leaked for weeks now. As well as the new equipment, the Shroud Screen, another piece of equipment that has been leaked forever. This will include a new battle pass. And then there's some other nice things coming as well. Finally, we're like a custom game browser, which is good because by then you would expect that Forge has been out long enough that there's a lot of games out there to search for. That was definitely probably, at least in my opinion, the most exciting thing that happened in Master Chief Collection in the last 5 years was the custom game browser on Reach, allowing you to find some really fun game modes. A new narrative event, which I was incredibly excited about at the beginning of Season 2. When I realized the narrative event was a 1-minute cutscene, I quickly lost interest, but we will get more little cutscenes with this new narrative event. They're going to try to focus on in-game reporting now. Right now, if you are playing with somebody who is a jerk, it's very difficult to report them through in-game means. You have to basically look at their player card through the Xbox launcher and report them that way. This will probably be a little bit easier to report and get some of the toxic players out. Although I'd argue there's not a lot of people playing left. We probably need all the players we can get, toxic or not. They'll be including some more Forge beta updates, which whatever. Maybe it's more tools, maybe it's more features. Clearly, they're not ready to make that prime time even through November. So you're talking through November through June. They're still talking about Forge and beta, which is just shocking to me. We're going to get some new game modes with VIP and Escalation. I say new game modes, at least new game modes to Halo Infinite. Both of these game modes are not new to the Halo franchise, but it's nice to see that they're actually going to be making their way over to Infinite. Additional quality of life improvements, and a new Fracture event. So there you have it, a pretty long list of things. I don't know, honestly, if this is that exciting to most people. I think a lot of people are going to look at this and go, I kind of feel that way. I'm kind of looking at this thinking, well, I mean, yes, I'll take whatever I can get. I've been very clear on that. But just looking over the list, I can't really see of any particular thing that's going to draw a lot of people back in. And you're really taking some very basic things. You're talking from now through June of next year, which is essentially 9 months, right? You're talking you're going to get 1, 2, 3, 4 new maps, the introduction of Forge, a couple game modes that will come and go, and a battle pass. Is that really warranting of a live service title? I don't think so, but I want to hear from you guys in the comments below. Let me know your thoughts. I'll post a link, like I said, to this official blog post. There's an embedded video if you're interested in watching the roundtable discussion with those guys. I'll also post a link to my Halo playlist, and I'll also post a link specifically to my engineering review of what's going on at 343. All quality things if you're curious about any of it. And while you're down there, why don't you consider subscribing? I've kind of quit complaining or demanding you guys to subscribe for a while because I haven't been doing a lot with the channel. I only have a couple videos coming out next week. Between this week and next week, there won't be a lot of content. So I'll start the campaign trail again very, very soon. With that, I'm wrapping up today's video. Thank you all so much for watching. Take care of yourselves. And until next time, I will see you guys on the other side.